So day by day, I'm realizing that this teaching gig is a frustrating job, and I looked up the job role of a teaching assistant, and I do none of it. And then at my school, when I talk to the principal about it, I do none of it. So for the principal, I'm supposed to just work with students in a small group and keep track of who I work with. And I can't do that because the teachers are so used to working by themselves that I just feel like I get in the way. As well, a lot of the students just are like crazy off the walls, and I just feel like if I can't tell you to do right nicely, then I ain't gonna tell you at all. Like, why is there this big push for me to yell at you to be quiet when these kids, the first graders and the kindergartners, know the deal? They are amazing students. Now, the second graders and the third graders, they should know it too because they went through kindergarten and first grade, and I know they had some tough teachers when they were in kindergarten and first grade. So for them to be in third grade now and to be in second grade now, and it's like I have to repeat, or well, I see it repeating like the same rules and procedures every day. Like they gotta throw food on the cafeteria floor every day. They have to throw food on the cafeteria floor and on the cafeteria counter every day. And I tell them rules and procedures, but honestly, I don't think the teachers tell a lot of rules and procedures because they don't really explain, hey, you guys have to be quiet because this is what it's going to affect, this is who it's going to affect. And I wish that kids understood. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I wish that kids understood that they should follow the rules and that, okay, you don't have to respect me, but respect the other class, respect the other teacher. You know these teachers because they end up hugging. Some of them will hug another teacher. And I'm like, okay, so you're friends with actual teachers. And you should know that, hey, this teacher wants you to be quiet in the hall because other teachers are teaching and you are interfering with that. And I just think kids, do they even care at this point? But they should. And I also think the rules are stupid. Like, there was a line of either fourth grade or fifth grade. I get them confused all the time. And they were walking, and they had to be fifth grade, actually. And they saw their fourth grade teacher, who is now a second grade teacher. So many students stopped to just hug or say hi to their teacher. And the teacher, the second grade teacher now, is like, guys, you're in a line. Go focus on your fifth grade teacher and stand in line quietly. And I feel like that's a bit rude, like the fact that you have to stand in line more than hug someone who you cared about and spent a year of your life with. And little things like that, it's just like, this is not worth it. And it's not a cool rule, and it's not a cool thing to do. As well, in my class, the kids are not engaged at all. For example, the teacher gives them a computer to look at, and it's like, not everyone wants to sit on a computer playing math games, especially these second graders that already love PE more than they like sitting at a desk looking at a screen. And even when I got out of school, I remember a lot of times I at least sat and read a book. Like, not everyone wants to sit on a computer all day and not do anything that's really engaging. Like, sitting at a computer is not engaging for many students. Yes, they like playing the games, but it's not like they want to play it for 30 minutes or an hour. And it's a nice reward, but it's not what kids want to do because the games they can play are already limited. And when I was walking through the class today, I saw that the kids did not even know how to play anything. So the teacher gives them this thing to do, which is I'm going to teach you guys math in 3 groups of 3, and I will call students to sit with me and I will teach them. And then she tells them the rest of the class will look at a computer screen quietly and they will go on iReady learning games. And I'm like, this cannot be right because I'm looking at the screens and everybody is playing with cupcakes and pizza. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with iReady. This has nothing to do with math. What are you guys doing? And I keep looking at the screen and the kids keep getting up, being bored, talking to each other. And when I see the ones who are quiet trying to play their pizza cupcake game, they don't even know how to play it. All they know is how to decorate a pizza. And I'm like, this is not math. Decorating a cupcake is not math. Where are the numbers? And then I see them walking down the street and I'm like, where is the math? And it turns out the cupcake game and the pizza game is supposed to teach you how to multiply numbers and do multiplication for receipts. So basically, when someone asks for 2 pizzas, you're going to make your pizza, you're going to give it a price like $4, and then you're going to say, okay, 4 times 2 is 8. And then you have different names for your pizza. And I was confused by that because I'm like, they want a rhino pizza. They want a rhino cupcake, a yo-yo this, a majesty gesticulad unicorn. What? I didn't even understand the names. Turns out that's just the pizzas on your menu. And then I didn't understand it and more because I went to this boy's computer and his computer just had people being angry saying, I ain't paying $6 for a pizza. Your pizza is $8. That's too expensive. I ain't paying for that. And I'm like, what is this game? So they didn't do any math and they didn't even really do any reading. And a lot of them, they just clicked on stuff and were just looking at a screen, not learning anything. Like, that was a good hour of class that was wasted, 30 minutes of class that was wasted. Like, this did nothing. Then at the end of the day, the teacher lets them just sit around on the floor and talk to each other. And then she said she's gonna put on a brain break game, and she only plays like a minute of it. And then she says, okay, guys, 2 girls will get on the board and draw. And I'm like, what are they drawing for? And I did not know anything about the game. They didn't really play the game. I'm just amazed that they just sit on the floor at the end of class and do nothing. And to me, it's like, you want to tell these students not to talk, yet you let them sit on the floor at the end of the day and talk to each other. And to me, that communicates that school is for making friends and it's for just talking about stupid stuff and then pulling out your phone and pulling out random junk you got in your backpack and showing it off. And then kids start getting into fights and they start touching people's backpacks and pulling things out, stealing things. And it's like, yeah, because you have a bunch of kids in a room with nothing to do. And sometimes I want to say the kids are bad, but in another time I want to say they ain't got nothing to do. And what I think is weird is how there's this one boy who keeps having anger problems where he's fighting with a girl and then he's chasing a girl and then he's trying to hit this other girl. Yeah, he's trying to hit this other girl. He threw a pencil at her and he's still like not liking this girl. Then he hits another girl in the face with a piece of paper. And it's just weird how he's allowed to be in class and just act bad. And I don't know what causes it. He even pushed a boy's book off his desk and tries to steal things from a kid who sits next to him. And I'm like, why can't he sit by himself? He's a horrible student. And I don't know what to do with ugly little boy because I like him when he's good, but he also doesn't pay attention well in class. And I say, like, when you go to specials like music class, I'm sure art class, you don't pay attention. And a lot of kids, they only pay attention to PE, which is sad because school is not about PE. It's about math, science, and sitting down and listening. And that's what I also don't like. I feel like the teacher should make more time for the kids to play games with each other, like learning games that are like not on a computer, or include group activity. Kids love group activities, and I'm sure they can follow the directions if you make it simple enough for them, because a lot of the kids do have disabilities and attention disorders, which make me think, don't make them focus on something for over 10 minutes because they're not gonna use their brain capacity right. Like, it's been 10 minutes. And a lot of times they'll have to sit at their computer for like 20 minutes, and that's when two girls who are the bad ones in the class because they're really active, they started doing backflips. And they're like, oh, can you do 10 backflips? Or front flips and cartwheels or something. And then they start doing it in class and they can jump and land on their feet. And then one girl does it and I'm like, girl, you need to stop. And she gets mad at me. And then another girl does it and they're like, 1, 2, 3. And the teacher's like, you cannot do that in class. This is a hazard. You're going to get hurt. You could kick someone. This is not something for class. But the girl is so bored and not engaged with anything that that's what she's going to do. And I feel a bit upset, but I also don't, because I'm like, I don't got nothing else for you to focus on either. Because your teacher told you to sit at a computer, and I am not the teacher. Even though I'm a teaching assistant, I have no power in this classroom. Your teacher is my boss. So I know she's not really doing you right, but I cannot do anything about that. And yeah, little things like that, I'm just like, maybe it is teachers and it's their management style.